guys heard the one about the ram who was so upset when his girlfriend left him? And his buddy said to him, "Boy, I'm really sorry to see how heartbroken you are." And he said, "Yeah, I know. I'm just afraid there'll never be another you." Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Jazz at NMU Tune of the Week. This week we're going to be looking at a classic jazz standard entitled "There Will Never Be Another You." This tune was composed by Harry Warren with lyrics by Mack Gordon. It was written for the 1942 movie Iceland that featured three-time Olympic figure skating champion Sonja Henie. While the movie didn't really take off, this tune has certainly found its way into the standard repertoire for jazz musicians. So what do you need to know about this tune? Well, as usual, I think it's good to start with the form. This is once again a 32-bar tune, and in this case, this breaks down as A, B, A, B, or more specifically as A, B1, A, B2. Each of these letters denotes an 8-bar phrase, and in this case, we've got A sections that are virtually identical, and the B sections are slightly different, hence we refer to them as B1 and B2. Melodically, material here is pretty scalar. We find a lot of upward sweeping motion in the A sections, balanced out by downward motion in the B sections. In terms of harmony, we're in E flat major here. And when I say we're in E flat major, I mean we are really in E flat major. In fact, if you look at the melody of this tune as Harry Warren wrote it, there's only one note in the entire piece that is not diatonic to the E flat major scale. Now, I'm not going to suggest that you should improvise only using E flat major over this tune, but I think it is worth thinking about the fact that Harry Warren, 80 years ago, wrote this tune using pretty basic material over these chord changes, and we're still playing this tune and singing this tune today. As an improviser, if I can play anything that people are going to be humming 80 years from now, I'd be very happy. So I think there's something to be said for keeping things simple in a lot of cases and trying not to get too complicated. Let's take a closer look at these changes. One of the skills we need to develop as jazz improvisers is the ability to look at and listen to a chord progression and very quickly make some decisions about what's really important and how things are functioning. This can be rather daunting at first when you're presented with an entire page of chords like this one, but it gets a lot easier the more times you go through the process. A good way to start is simply to look for chords that really don't seem to quite fit in the context of the basic key. In this case, for example, we know we're in E flat major, which has three flats, B flat, E flat, and A flat. But very quickly as this progression unfolds, we find chords like G7 flat 9, which has a B natural, or E flat 7, which has a D flat, or F7, which has an A natural. All three of these chords are secondary dominant chords, chromatic chords, which function to intensify the harmonic motion and briefly tonicize other chords in the context of E flat major, such as C minor, the 6th chord, or A flat major, the 4 chord. Another chord that looks a little bit out of place in the first half of this tune is this D flat 7 sharp 11 chord, which leads to this E flat major 7 chord. This is what we call a backdoor dominant, and in fact it's actually substituting for a B flat 7 chord. These type of harmonic devices are found in countless tunes, and the more you see these kind of patterns, the easier it becomes for you to map out subtle shifts in key centers, or identify specific notes to use as target notes in the context of an improvised solo. As always, I want to encourage you to check out as many recordings of this tune as you possibly can. And there's some great ones by folks like Lester Young, Lionel Hampton, Nat King Cole, and a whole host of other folks. One of my favorites is the 1954 recording by trumpet player Chet Baker. There's something about Chet Baker's sound and his lyricism and approach to phrasing that's really always appealed to me. I hope you've enjoyed learning about this tune today, and I hope you enjoy this brief performance of "There Will Never Be Another You." you.